Well, the college football playoff rolls on without the Tennessee Volunteers, but after watching those quarterfinal matchups, Vols fans might be feeling slightly better about how the season ended at Ohio State. Hey, Lucas Panzica here from 104.5 The Zone and A to Z Sports. So if you're like me, you're sitting back watching that Rose Bowl college football playoff quarterfinal between Ohio State and Oregon, and you couldn't help but feel a sense of deja vu. Ohio State jumps out to a big early lead. Offensive fireworks. Jeremiah Smith shredding the Oregon secondary. The Ducks made a slight push at about the midway point of the game, but ultimately a dominant performance. Ohio State wins by multiple scores. That sound familiar? It's a lot like it happened in Columbus against the Vols in the first round of the college football playoff. Ohio State was up 34-0 before Oregon got on the board and ultimately won 41-21 just over a week after beating Tennessee on their home field by 25 points. It gives you a chance to kind of take a step back, reflect on how the Vol season ended, and while disappointing, you can realize Tennessee just flat out ran into a buzzsaw. Tennessee, like Oregon, ran into the most talented team in all of college football, finally playing up to their talent level. That's an Ohio State team that appears to be unstoppable at the moment and is playing better than anybody in the college football playoff field, and it is not even close. Now, I say that to say that does not mean that Tennessee is on the same level of the Oregon Ducks. There is a stark difference there. Oregon went undefeated in the regular season and won the Big Ten title, also because they beat Ohio State in the middle of the regular season in a thrilling shootout in Eugene. We've seen the sample size of Oregon going toe-to-toe with Ohio State. We have not seen Tennessee be able to go toe-to-toe with a team of that caliber. This season, we saw it when the Vols went down to Athens to face Georgia. They lost the battle in the trenches and lost by multiple scores on the road. So yes, maybe you can take a little bit of solace in thinking that Tennessee would have been more competitive against a different opponent. Maybe they would have moved on to the quarterfinals if they had been matched up with somebody other than the buzzsaw that is Ohio State. But both things can be true. You can recognize that while also realizing Tennessee still has a lot of work to do. Josh Heupel sets about this offseason with the goal of proving that he can do the thing that is most difficult to stay in the upper tier of college football. That's sustainability. That is reloading your roster and your talent profile. Tennessee's got big questions right now across this roster. We talked earlier in the week about the transfer portal affecting the wide receiver room. It appears as though the former five-star Mike Matthews will remain in the portal, at least for the time being. Tennessee has got a lot to do to prove that they can sustain and continue to ascend. Oregon doesn't have that burden of proof as much as Tennessee does. It'll be a major emphasis for the Vols moving forward, but you can take a little bit of solace in understanding that, hey, you just ran into a flat-out buzzsaw in the Ohio State Buckeyes. 2024 was a very good season for the Tennessee Vols with 10 wins and a deserved berth in the college football playoff. It'll be about ascending, about moving forward and proving that if you were to take the field again against the likes of Ohio State, that you wouldn't lose by 25 points in a win-or-go-home setting.